There's a reason so many classic cartoon villains are so fabulously dramatic. It was a secret code. For over 50 years, animators have used these over-the-top personalities to hint at something they weren't allowed to show. Many people are crazy about these characters, but they don't know the real story. We have uncovered the truth behind their secret lives, from their hidden relationships to the real-world icons who inspired them. You're about to see your childhood heroes and villains in a completely new light, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Many people think of Disney as the peak of family-friendly entertainment, but not all things are what they seem. You see, for decades, Disney animators were masters of hiding things in plain sight, especially when it came to their villains. Take Ursula from The Little Mermaid, released in 1989. Her entire existence is a masterclass in queer coding. What many overlooked is that her design and personality were directly inspired by the iconic American drag queen Divine. The animators even confirmed it. Her over-the-top makeup, her dramatic theatrical movements, and her deep husky voice were all trademarks of Divine's stage persona. Her big musical number, Poor Unfortunate Souls, plays out like a classic drag performance, full of sassy confidence and manipulative charm. The thing nobody tells you is that her backstory, being banished from the palace by King Triton, is seen by many as a metaphor for being cast out by society for being different. It's a powerful, hidden narrative. But the secrets don't stop there. Let's talk about Scar from The Lion King. From his first moment on screen, he's presented as the opposite of his brother, the super-masculine Mufasa. Scar is witty, sarcastic, and moves with a kind of limp-wristed elegance that was often used as a shorthand for a gay man in older films. To put it mildly, he shows zero interest in lionesses, and is far more concerned with his looks and his dramatic monologues. The actor who voiced him, Jeremy Irons, even stated in an interview that he always thought of Scar as being more interested in a boyfriend than in ruling. In fact, some of Scar's original animated sequences were considered so flamboyant they had to be toned down. For instance, an early animation test shows Scar lounging on a rock in a way that was seen as too suggestive for a family film. What many overlooked is that this coding of villains as queer was a common but problematic trope linking different with evil. And the list goes on. Jafar from Aladdin fits the same mold. Tall, slender, obsessed with power, and speaking in a soft, sinister tone. His long robes, eyeliner, and constantly plotting nature made him another classic sissy villain. A type of character whose effeminate traits are meant to signal that he is untrustworthy and operates outside the norms of masculinity. The relationship between him and his parrot Iago is also packed with subtext, often feeling like an old, bickering married couple. Many people are crazy about these villains because their personalities are so huge, but few realize just how intentional those personalities were. They were a way for animators to push boundaries in an era where they couldn't be direct. Even a more modern character like Elsa from Frozen has been at the center of a massive debate. Her hit song Let It Go has been embraced worldwide as a coming-out anthem, a powerful declaration of self-acceptance. In the movies, she shows no interest in male suitors, leading millions of fans to campaign for Disney to give her a girlfriend in the sequel. Disney has never confirmed it, but the subtext is so strong that it becomes a core part of her identity for many viewers. It shows that even without saying a word, the message can come through loud and clear. But Disney wasn't the only studio playing this game. Some secrets were hiding on Saturday mornings. Long before Disney's Renaissance, Hanna-Barbera was filling the airwaves with characters whose secrets were even more obvious, to put it mildly. The most famous example is, without a doubt, Snagglepuss. This theatrical pink mountain lion with his collar, cuffs, and signature catchphrase, "Exit stage left," was practically a walking billboard for camp. He spoke with a lisp, loved the theater, and was incredibly dramatic about everything. While the show once gave him a female love interest, many fans and critics believe this was a classic beard, a cover to make the character seem straight to network censors. The thing nobody tells you is that his voice was based on the actor Burt Lahr, who famously played the Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz, another character long considered a gay icon. For decades, fans just knew Snagglepuss was one of them. Then you have the ultimate trickster, Bugs Bunny from Looney Tunes. What many overlooked is that Bugs was a pioneer of gender fluidity on screen. He would dress in drag at the drop of a hat to fool Elmer Fudd or Yosemite Sam, and he seemed to enjoy it a little too much. In the iconic 1957 short What's Opera Doc, He dresses as the beautiful Valkyrie Brunhild and charms Elmer into a romantic fantasy. He didn't just put on a dress, he became a whole new persona. Even more, Bugs has kissed more men on screen than almost any other cartoon character in history. While it was always played for laughs, it consistently pushed the boundaries of what was considered acceptable on television at the time. The animators were having fun, but they were also creating a character who defied every rule of traditional masculinity, becoming an icon for anyone who felt different. In fact, some animation historians argue that Bugs Bunny's constant cross-dressing helped normalize the idea for generations of kids. Let's not forget Scooby-Doo, where the subtext has been a topic of debate for over 50 years. Velma Dinkley, the brainy, mystery-solving member of the gang, was long read by fans as a lesbian. Her baggy turtleneck, her short hair, and her complete lack of interest in the boys were all seen as clues. For years, the creators and writers of various Scooby-Doo shows and movies tried to make it official. James Gunn, who wrote the live-action movies, said he wrote her as explicitly gay in his original script, but the studio kept watering it down. It wasn't until a recent animated movie in 2022 that her orientation was finally confirmed on screen, proving that the fans were right all along. But what about Fred? With his signature ascot, a fashion accessory long associated with gay men, and his seemingly perfect but passionless relationship with Daphne, many viewers have speculated that he too was hiding a secret. These older cartoons set the stage, but the 90s took subtext to a whole new level. The 1990s were a golden age for weird and wonderful cartoons, especially on Nickelodeon, and the creators were not afraid to get strange. Take Ren and Stimpy. The show was so bizarre that it's hard to tell what was a joke and what was subtext. The two main characters, a dog and a cat, were intensely codependent. They shared a bed, were incredibly intimate, and their relationship often felt like a dysfunctional marriage. The creator, John Kricfalusi, intentionally kept their relationship ambiguous, once saying their romantic life was their own business. But to many fans, they were clearly a couple. The show was constantly pushing the envelope with adult humor, and their secret relationship was just one of the many things that flew over kids' heads. And then there's SpongeBob SquarePants. His cheerful, naive personality and his incredibly close relationship with his best friend Patrick Star have fueled speculation for years. In 2005, some conservative groups even attacked the show for promoting a gay agenda. The show's creator, Steven Hillenburg, stated that he always considered the characters to be almost not gender-defined, but that hasn't stopped the discussion. In 2020, Nickelodeon's official Twitter account celebrated Pride Month with a picture of SpongeBob, which many took as a long-awaited confirmation. You see, whether he is officially gay or not, his character has been embraced by the LGBTQ+ community for his joyful spirit and his rejection of traditional masculine norms. But perhaps the most flamboyantly coded character of the era was him from the Powerpuff Girls. Him is a villain who is so over the top that he makes every other character on this list look subtle. A demonic crab-like creature with a high-pitched, echoing voice, he wears a pink tutu, thigh-high boots, and makeup. He is a master of psychological torment, and his eerie gender-bending appearance was terrifying to kids. What many overlooked is that his character was a direct representation of pure evil, but his appearance was coded with so many gay stereotypes that the connection was impossible to miss. He was both scary and fabulous, a walking contradiction that left a huge impression on anyone who watched the show. For many, he was one of the first times they saw such a gender non-conforming character on screen. From villains to heroes, these hidden messages prove that animation has always been more complex than it seems. The practice of queer coding wasn't just about sneaking in jokes, it had a real impact. For many viewers, seeing characters who were different provided a sense of connection, even if it was unspoken. Waylon Smithers from The Simpsons is a perfect example. For nearly 30 years, his intense devotion to Mr. Burns was the longest running gag on the show. He was so obviously in love with his boss, but the show never officially said he was gay. There were countless hints, from his Malibu Stacy dog collection to his vacation at an all-male resort. It wasn't until a 2016 episode that he finally came out. What many overlooked is that his long, slow journey out of the closet mirrored the real-life experiences of many people. Other characters became icons for different reasons. Spinelli from Recess, with her tough-as-nails attitude, her combat boots, and her hatred of anything traditionally girly, was seen as a young lesbian icon by many fans. She was a tomboy who refused to change for anyone, and that resonated with a lot of kids who didn't fit into neat boxes. Similarly, the dynamic between Peppermint Patty and Marcy in the Peanuts comics and specials has been analyzed for decades. Peppermint Patty is an athletic tomboy who is clueless about feminine things, while Marcy devotedly follows her around calling her sir. The creator, Charles Schulz, was a friend of the famous lesbian tennis player Billie Jean King, and many believe their friendship inspired the characters' relationship. You see, whether it was done for laughs, for social commentary, or as a quiet act of rebellion, queer coding has left a huge mark on animation. These secretly gay cartoon characters paved the way for the openly LGBTQ+ characters we see in shows today, like in Steven Universe or The Owl House. They started a conversation, even if it was just in whispers, and showed that stories can have many layers. The thing nobody tells you is that this history, full of secrets and hidden meanings, is a reminder that there's often more to our favorite shows than meets the eye. They are a product of their time, but their legacy is timeless. Did creators use these codes to secretly push an agenda, or were they just having fun? Let us know your thoughts below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more secrets.